I've paid off over $13,000 of debt this year. And if I was starting my debt-free journey all over again, here's what I would do. Now, I was just sitting here minding my business, and I was just thinking, I wonder how much debt have I paid off. I know that I sent money to debt last month, which was a big chunk of money, but I did not do the calculations on how much I've totally paid off this year. So I sat down, I did my calculation, and your girl has paid off $13,758.41. And my mind was blown. Y'all know how I get with these numbers. My mind was blown because I was like, that could have been money in my savings account. That could have been money I could have been investing. Instead, it was money that went towards debt. And I still got a long way to go. I'm not complete. I'm not done yet. I still have a long ways to go. But I wanted to do this video because I know we're coming to the end of the year. People are going to be making their New Year resolutions, New Year goals. Or maybe you're someone that's restarting your debt-free journey and just don't know where to start. I wanted to share my perspective on what I would do differently because I've been doing this since 2019, and there are some different things that I would do differently. So let's get right into that. If you are new here, my name is Nikki. I share debt payoff journey over here, and basically I just share whatever I'm doing, and I share it with you in hopes that you can do it too, so you can get the same results or even better results than I'm getting. So let's get right into the very first thing that I would do is get a bit organized. Now, when at the beginning of the year, this year, I just wrote mine on a white piece of paper. As you can see, this is a bit chaotic. This is all over the place. I can't even tell you what's what. Even when I did this video today and tried to do all of the calculations, I had to go back to the top of the piece of paper and just do it from there, and then log into all of the different accounts that I had to see what the balances was and stuff like that, and just go off that because the bottom half of this is just so unorganized. So I do have a budget bundle I promoted in all of my budgeting videos because this bundle has literally helped me stay organized. It has helped me stay on track with saving money, paying off debt, and actually just getting in control of my finances overall in one place. And that's why I love it so much. So I'm going to be sharing with you this getting out of debt guide and workbook, which I feel like you definitely really need, especially on your debt-free journey, because not only do it give you the debt tracker, it gives you like different methods that you can use with getting out of debt. So y'all know my favorite getting out of debt method is the headache method, where you just focus on the debt that give you the biggest headache and just, you know, throw all money to debt while making minimum payments on all others. But the debt tracker is basically going to have a space for you to write out the type of debt that you're in, the starting balance, the minimum payment, the due date, the amount paid, and the ending balance. And then it has so many different lines on there where every time that you make a payment, you can keep updating it and updating it. And then once you get to the end of the worksheet, you can put the total amount of debt that you actually started off with, how much you have paid, and then the amount remaining. So as you can see, I got all of these sticky notes over here by me because I was so unorganized with just doing it on this white piece of paper, even though this was quick and, you know, it was what I had at the moment or whatever. But I was all over the place trying to find these numbers. If you got this budget bundle, you can have your numbers all in one place and you wouldn't have to do all of the stuff that I was doing earlier when I was trying to film this video. The next thing that I would do is check your credit report, because sometimes when you write stuff down and what's on your credit report, it might not line up. I did that in the very beginning in 2019. What I thought I was in was not truly what I actually was in. Now, I had credit. I have a house that I just bought last year. I got student loans. I had credit cards. I had personal loans. I had payday loans. I had a car payment. I had a collections account. I had all of this debt in 2019. Now, going into this year, 2025, I came into this year with my house still. Well, I didn't have a house in 2019, but I had a house in 2024 that I went into 2025 still with a house loan, still with my student loans, still with credit cards, and then I had a collection account. Now, the reason why I'm focusing on collection account, or the reason why I'm paying off a collection account, is because if you're trying to buy a house, your lender, I don't know if it's the same everywhere, but my lender told me because that collection account was over $2,000, I had to get on a payment arrangement or I had to pay that debt off. So I opted for getting on the payment plan because at the time that collection account was over $3,000 and I didn't have $3,000 at the time like that to be trying to pay everything off. So I just got on a payment plan. And then I just went on ahead and paid it off last month. But make sure you pull your credit report. Now, I use my FICO. I love my FICO. But I know sometimes, you know, we don't have the money to be spending on these apps and stuff like that. So Credit Karma, I think, is a good runner up on things like that. So just make sure you can be able to, I think you can get one free credit report every single year now that I think about it. So use freeannualcreditreport.com, I think it is. I'm going to link everything that I'm mentioning in this video down below in the description box. So make sure you check that out. The next thing that I would do, and the most importantly thing I would do, is create a budget. You need a budget. You need to know how much money you got coming in, how much money you got going out, if it's a necessity, if it's a need, or if it's a want, how much money are you planning on saving, what's your savings go, all that type of stuff. And that's where my budget bundle come in again. I have a savings tracker as well as my budget workbook and a budget spreadsheet where you can input all of these numbers. The spreadsheet will actually calculate it for you on its own. If you're a paper and pen type of girl like I am, I kind of like use both of them at the same time. I just fill in my budget workbook. That's how I plan my month, and then I put it in the spreadsheet, and as I start spending money, I update the spreadsheet, and it actually does the calculation for me. And it actually gives you like percentages as well, which that's what I really love about the spreadsheet. It tells me, okay, well, 50% of your income went on expenses, 25% of your income went on savings, 10% went towards debt, stuff like that. And I feel like that is so interesting, especially when you're trying to get to a place where you're doing a 50-30-20 budget, where 50% of your income is going towards your needs, 30% is going towards your wants, and 20% is going towards savings and debt and stuff like that. So that's another thing that I would do differently if I was starting my debt-free journey all over again. The next thing that I would do, and this one might be a little bit, I'm just going to go ahead and explain it. So the next thing that I would do differently is I would pause my savings. So I was still saving money. I was putting money into my retirement. I was putting money towards investing, and I was putting money in my personal savings while still having all of this debt. And the reason why I was doing it is because I was making money on the side from content creator. Now, because I still break down the content creator money as well. So with the content money, I break it in fours. I give I put money aside, 25% aside for taxes, 25% aside for the bills and expenses, 25% goes back into the business, being that I am a fashion and lifestyle content creator. I have to buy products, I have to upgrade my equipment, things like that. And then that last 25% goes to myself, and I was using that money to save and pay off debt. And it's only a small portion, because it's not like I'm making millions and millions of dollars over here where I had big large chunks of money. So it's just a little small portion of money. Now the reason why I say that I will pause my savings is because I had worked my way up to 5 to 6 months of bills and expenses in my savings account. So I had enough money saved where I can kind of like let up off the gas a little bit when it comes to the savings, and kind of like throw that money towards my debt. So I didn't necessarily cut out my retirement and my investing, but I cut out my personal savings that I was putting inside of my personal account, being that I already had 5 to 6 months of bills and expenses sitting over there. So I was putting aside $250 every single time that I was paid into this savings account. And I could have started using that money to pay off this debt a little bit quicker, but I wasn't doing that in the beginning. So if you already have money set aside, I would say you don't need 5 to 6 months of bills and expenses. I would say if you have at least 1 month to 3 months of bills and expenses, you can start putting more money towards the debt and less money towards the savings. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't stop focusing on the savings altogether, because I still was doing retirement, I still was doing investing, but you can let up off the gas a little bit. If you're saving $500 every single month or whatever like that, maybe put in $400 aside over there along with the money that you're making on the side, and that extra $100 can go towards debt. Something similar to that, something realistic. That's the whole thing. You got to be realistic about this. The more money that you can put towards your debt, the quicker you can get out of it. The next thing that I would do is, just like I was saying, I make money with content creator. I would pick up me a side hustle. That's going to help. The more money you bring in, the more money you can use to actually pay off this debt, and this debt can get paid off quicker. So when I started this journey in 2019, I sold things on Facebook, Mercari, Poshmark, all of those reselling apps, because y'all know what was going on in 2019, 2020, and all that type of stuff. Stores were shut down. People still wanted to buy things. So I went through my closet, my kids' closet. I took out things that I could not wear, I did not like, did not love anymore, and I started selling it on these third-party platforms. Now, I work for the post office, so I still was going to work. Some people did this to just, still supplement their income because people was being laid off and, being terminated and fired and all that type of stuff. And they needed it for their income. But luckily for me, I was still working my job. So I was picking up extra hours at my job. While also when I was coming home, I would go through my closet, my kids' stuff, and I would, film those items that I did not want anymore. And I would take them to work with me and ship them out. Now, I'm not saying that you got to be a reseller, but in this space that we're in now, you can use this content creator stuff as your extra income. So for me, I do affiliate marketing. That's my top performing, the top way that I make money. So how do I make money from affiliate marketing? I share things authentically that I like, love, and that I would recommend to my audience online. And if they like it, they buy it, I earn a small commission from it. So that's what I really like about affiliate marketing. Also, I sell a budget bundle. That's a digital product. Maybe that's something that you can do that you have more expertise in than a beginner. Or you getting out of debt as well. Maybe you can create your own budget bundle. Maybe you are a good cook and you like different, recipes and your food be good and everybody always asking about your different meals. Maybe you can come up with a meal plan or a meal guide or meal ideas or different little things like that. Like I'm still waiting on an air fryer meal because I'm the type of girl, I like the air fryer. I'm not even gonna lie. I like the air fryer. I love cooking in my air fryer and I'm still waiting for someone to come out with an air fryer meal ideas ebook or something like that. That could be something that you could be selling. What is you good at? What are you good at? Put it in a digital product, share your expertise, and you can make money from that. The next thing is when you start showing up on these platforms and showing up with your content, a brand may reach out to you. I got paid because I love shopping at the thrift store. A brand reached out to me to go do the things that I already would like doing, go into a thrift store and shopping, and they gave me money to actually shop and share my finds with my audience, and I got paid for that. So brand deals is another way that you can actually get paid. Not only with just the affiliate marketing, digital products, and brand deals, you can also just get paid. You can also get paid from just posting on these platforms. So far right now, I am monetized on Facebook. I get paid to do a text post or I post in my stories. I can do a video. I can do a reel. Anything I post on Facebook, I get paid for. I also get paid on Instagram. Now, currently, Instagram I only get paid for photos and carousels. I don't do a lot of them. I don't know. I just think that we're in this video space and I'm kind of like hooked on just doing videos. So I don't do really that much photos and carousels, which I need to be doing them because if you're getting paid to do it, you should be doing it. So that's what I get paid for as well. TikTok got so many different ways that you can monetize your content. TikTok Shop, TikTok, they got this TikTok One program. They got this live incentive by going live and getting paid for if somebody click the live button. It is just bananas how many ways that you can get paid from just a platform itself. So I'm not going to go into all that type of stuff, but you get my point. You can get paid from the content that you already posted online. The next and last final thing that I would do is get around people who is on the same journey as you. I remember when I started my journey in 2019 and I used to have to tell my friends that I couldn't go to this place, or I couldn't do brunch, or I couldn't go to this concert, or I had to pick from going out to eat or, putting money in my savings or paying off this debt and things like that. And they did not understand it because they was not on a debt-free journey. They were just spending money. So you need to be around people that's on the same journey as you. They don't have to be in the same amount of debt as you, but you need to be around people that is on the same journey as you. And luckily for you, right now, currently, I'm doing a 75 hard personal finance challenge where every single day we are tracking our spending. There's no unplanned spending. You're doing 15 minutes of financial education. You're reviewing your budget every single day, and you can do that by getting that budget bundle. And then also you're making one small wealth action daily, and you can do that as well. Like the whole entire budget bundle will help you with everything that you got going on overall. Trust me. I have been using this thing since 2019, and it has literally been a game changer for me. So if you want to join that challenge, although we have already started, you could just jump on in. I'm going to link it down below. I'm going to link the video as well after this video, so you can check that out and just go ahead and say that you're in, so we can check back on you and stuff like that to make sure you're doing good. But that's all for this video, y'all. That is every single thing that I would do differently if I was starting my debt-free journey all over again. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.